Ana Paula Hernandez. What do you think of her, Rich?
Well, take a breath first of all. we have
Was she
we have wrapped up
dynamite?
our global travels in Mexico, and she was great. She basically reinforced. I don't know, was she watching all day with us? Because she basically reinforced everything we talked about. And I was
Pretty
listening, going,
much.
"Yep, check that one off. Check that one off." Very,
Yep.
very clear of how, again, through pandemic, through family, through being a female leader and being a voice, the world has changed and we're embracing the change. And now what are we going to do about it? I
Right.
thought it was really, really well. And again, just sharp as a tack. She knows her stuff. But again, we couldn't have asked for a better checkoff list for her to wrap this whole thing up nice and strong for us.
Yeah. She did a beautiful job of that, and she must have been watching all day because I think as women in the industry, we do have a special bond, and I think what I've learned through this whole entire day is that bond goes across borders. And I never really even realized that until today. I hope all the viewers saw that as well, because although we have the same challenges and concerns, we also have the same solutions. It's just a matter, again, of putting it into action. So I was very, very impressed with her. I especially how they look at things in Mexico. Like she said, they're very super resilient. They've been through earthquakes, floods, other disasters. The pandemic was just another day in a sense. So although nobody really knew what was going to happen, what was going to take place, they still were probably more prepared than I ever was. But I liked what she had to say overall. I really did. She did a beautiful job.
Well, and again, she talked about we're in it together.
Yeah.
And again, we've been around the globe. We've been from Canada to Australia to India to Spain, the US to Asia to Mexico. And that really capsulizes everything that we've been trying to talk about. We really are
Right.
in it together. These women are trying to connect in hospitality. They're trying to connect with their own region, their own countries. And they're trying to get people to realize we are in it together. It's not male,
Right.
female. It's not this sector, that sector. We're all in this thing together. And the hospitality industry, as you alluded to way early in the day, was this is plane, this is food, this is beverage, this is TSA. This is so many different hubs coming together. We're in this together. And
Yeah.
she really said that well about how down in Mexico, they've handled the tragedies, they've handled the bumps. They do know we're in it together.
Yeah, she did a good job on that. And to expand on being together, she said, I love when these women come up with solutions. She's like, we have to support each other, and you have to identify your tribe, identify who
I
that
love that
support
phrase.
that support system. That tribe could be your husband, your boyfriend, it could be your parents, whatever that is. Identify it and stay close to it and raise it up. And I love that. I loved how she said, you got to speak up. She takes one day at a time and be flexible. Be very flexible, and that's hard to do for women in the hospitality industry, and men, of course, everybody, because we're planners. We are so planners. I tell you, Trigger, whenever I want to do something, I have to plan it. And my husband, who is completely the opposite, he's spontaneous. It's like putting us two together, trying to figure out what to do. It's like, oh, well, let's do that next week. He's like, no, I want to do it now. So, one day at a time is a little bit hard, but I'm trying to go that route more now than ever. And after listening to Ana, I'm like, okay, she gets it. And she can do it. I got to do this too.
See, and I love flying by the seat of my pants, just hopping in the car, going anywhere, and just saying, here we are. But I'm also a planner, so I can adapt. And I think that's one of the things that Ana seems to allude to, that they planned, they did adapt, they pivoted, but they still had a plan. They still knew where North was. They still knew we're going to do hospitality, we're going to love on people, we're going to do this. How we do it will change tomorrow and the next day, because the rules, the regulations, the timelines may change, but we are going to still shoot for true north. And
Yeah.
I think that's part of the gold there of how do you do that? And again, never let them look behind the veil. They don't need to know
Right.
what's going on behind the scenes,
Right.
but out front, you are spot on. And
Yeah.
raise your hand, she said again. She's like, don't
Yeah.
be afraid to raise
That's
your
what it
hand,
was.
ask your question. I don't know, or I need help, or give me a resource. Raise your
Loved
hand.
that.
A great point.
I love that. I love that. And when you say raise your hand, that means taking action. And that's what I loved about it. Just raise your hand, do the action. Don't do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just do it. Just do the Nike thing. Just do it and get it up there. And I like that because for her to say that means that's what she does, and that's why she is where she is. So again, the viewers out there watching today there were so many golden nuggets. I'm just
But our
overwhelmed.
theme of the day, the clear theme, and she hit it again, was mentorship.
Yes.
She again went to the same
Yep.
thing that we were all the way through. Every part of the world that we went to today came back to, it's not just leadership. It's not just go get a job and go plug in. We need to make mentorship the priority for hospitality to grow and thrive in this new world. Everyone hit it. And she just drilled home on that. It was like,
did.
I think we have to really acknowledge that's important to hospitality for the women
Right.
leaders, for the men leaders, for the entire industry to understand you need to train your replacement, train people to grow, cross-pollinate it so the industry itself will grow and thrive.
Exactly. And it's much needed. It really is. So many people have left the industry during this pandemic because, of course, we're one of the last ones to come back. No one could really wait. And now when it starts coming back, this is a good message to get out there because people are going to need to be trained. We're going to get new people. We're going to get, the same people that come back because they're going to miss it. So really the industry needs to embrace, not just for women, but for the industry on a global basis, because that's what's going to help us move forward.
So I've got two more thoughts, and you just triggered one, but the other big thing was don't waste time trying to prove yourself.
Right.
Women specifically, she leaned in a little bit to the camera. Don't waste your time to prove yourself. You are a leader. You've gotten here for a reason.
Yeah.
We heard that earlier today as well, but she made it very clear. That's wasted energy. Spend it on fixing the product. Spend it on serving the people, doing your job, but don't waste it on that. The other thing I'm kind of interested in that you just brought up an interesting thought here, and we haven't even touched it all day long. As people are coming back into this, as there is those that have left, there's a void. We're going to rehire differently. We're going to shuffle the deck differently. Here's a great chance for women leaders to fill in the void and say, we have a gap now of hiring, firing, leaving, changeover, new services, new ways of doing it. Why not fill the void and say, I'm going to be one of the solution people to step in here, and I will help you on the new lead, the new way, because there is going to be a gap. Who's going to fill the gap, Deborah?
Yeah, I love that because that is an actionable situation right there that anybody can ask themselves. We have this gap, and it goes back to what, again, at the beginning of today, David Kong with Best Western Hotels is saying sustainability, labor, and diversity are the main issues in the industry. And when we're talking about labor, you're saying fill the gap. Well, hello, there you go. You can fill that labor gap by really taking the opportunity to expand yourself anywhere you want in the industry. Anywhere. There's so much out there to play with.
And I'm also wondering, because we had fun going around the globe, we got to hear how this interplays together. Question for you, Deborah, because you've been in this for an extremely long time, but does the industry cross-communicate the way we did today? Do we share, here's what we've learned over here, here's what we're trying here, here's what we've adjusted, here's what doesn't work. Is the industry cross-pollinating that as a way that leadership are talking globally, or is that another piece that maybe needs to come out of this as well?
Well, as the very good and very valid question, from my perspective, I see that it is a testing field. As Sheriff mentioned, he was challenging CEOs and CFOs back in 2018 to take on the challenge to hire more women. And that's why I wanted to ask him earlier today, where are we with this today? So it is still a challenge. And we can't move forward enough, but yet we can move faster if the leaders of the industry would take this challenge and tackle it. That's what's got to happen. We can spin our wheels here, as those that work in the industry, and all these women that we've talked to today. But until we see the action happen, especially from that senior level, it's going to be a long road, and we don't want that. That's why we're here. This is just one other avenue, and we should be embracing, especially technology like this show today, to make those things happen as well. So, yeah, very, very good question, and only time will tell on this.
So, by the way, since we were in Mexico and we've had a great day traveling the globe, we need to raise a glass to your team, to you, Deborah, for pioneering this, for leading the charge for the women. And thanks for inviting me in. Cheers. This has been a great event today.
Oh, yeah, I know that Anna made me just want to go and grab a margarita. So, yeah, I'm all for it. And as we close out here in the next few minutes, and anybody else that wants to join in, by all means, what we really enjoyed about today is that I think we really conquered the fact that we launched this International Hospitality Women's Day as a live broadcast, and being recognized around the world. I mean, you saw what people were doing out there. I've never seen such action being taken to help celebrate the achievements of women in the hospitality industry, along with a call to action, while accelerating them. And especially on an international stage why start small? We had to go big, because again, this industry is not a small community anymore. We're on a global basis, and we have to take advantage of that.
Well, and it was funny, Anna even mentioned they did the virtual in Mexico, and we know the economic struggle of Mexico, but she said,
Right.
We embraced it, we did it, we've learned from it, and we're going to keep doing it, even though they have big infrastructure difficulties. They're embracing it. They want to change. They want to grow. We are going to grow this as well. You and I are talking. The team is talking. This is just the first time that we are launching off this way for what we do with the hospitality, for the international women of the hospitality.
Right.
So this was our first foray out here to do this. And again, people caught it globally. We heard it. You got more PR. You got more article write-ups. And so just for the viewers, the people watching, the chat boxes that we've had today and the conversations, we are coming back with more, aren't we, Deborah?
Oh, absolutely. And the best part about this, and like anything with the pandemic, especially, which I loved what Carrie said, the pause. I believe that when you're ground zero, which we all are, it's all about the basics. It's all about starting over and learning through the basics. And we're doing this with this show because, women events have been trying to be launched for a long, long time. But for some reason, this one is really sticking because I think it's because it's global. And so we invite anyone that wants to get involved, whether it's suggestions, advice, sponsorships, helping, maybe even launching our first conference, whatever that is, by all means, contact us. And I'm going to put the email up there again, hello@hospitalitytodaylive.com, because if you've been following us, which a lot of people have this last month, and watching today, there's something within you that wants to say something or contribute to something. And if so, by all means, again, just contact us at hello@hospitalitytodaylive. We'll be happy to brainstorm. This is how we even started, right, Trigger? We were just brainstorming, and all of a sudden, here we are, hosting this show together. So who knows what we're going to do next year? But by all means, we see a major, massive shift in women in leadership positions, and we want to keep that ball rolling. And we hope everyone comes on board to help that make it happen, not only on today, but throughout the year as well. So I just wanted to find out from you, because this is, I've had an opportunity to have, to meet these women in pre-calls and knew kind of the content they were going to go with. But today was the first day that you've been able to really watch all 7 of these brilliant women.
Yeah.
Can you kind of help us close out today by sharing, what you learned about these women in general? We definitely got the theme down of mentorship, that's for sure. But was there any other takeaways that you would like to share with our audiences?
Well, there's probably one, and it never really got highlighted, but it's a thread through everything. They all have personal experiences that have led them to do what they do within hospitality. Some of them have globetrotted around. Some of them have been very stable in their community, but they have those experiences and that passion that we heard Olga talk about when she was beating her chest. It's a passion because we have these experiences and we're darn good at this.
Yes.
And we're so darn good at this that we want to make sure it's done well, no matter if it's pandemic, post-pandemic, whatever. But we want to be in the middle of this. And I think that's a great message that, again, there's confidence in each of these ladies, but it's not the arrogance. It's not the over puffed up confidence that we sometimes get with leaders. Sometimes they are confident of who they are, what they bring to the table. And they're also raising their hand saying, I want to do more and let's go do this together. And the unity message was kind of fun because I don't think either one of us really heard that one coming. But there is a unity, and I think it'd be fun going forward to try to maybe even have a panel of 3 or 4 of them together with some of our stuff and say, let's cross-pollinate in real time here and discuss it. I think it'd be really exciting to see with Asia and the Americas and maybe the UK next time, or maybe someplace else, and we bring them together and say, you guys are so diverse, so different.
Right.
So what's the unity that we have that you want to work together on? I think it might open up a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's a great comment and suggestion. And you're right, there was a great mix today from backgrounds, like you said, personal experiences, which are really firsthand experiences that they brought to the table. The trends, the topics, the locations, the cultures. It was a really good mix. I learned a lot. And again, I've been talking to these wonderful ladies, but boy, today really knocked it out of the park. And I really enjoyed today. And I know you did as well. And we'll keep at it. And as long as everybody knows that this is not the end of it, we're going to keep going. And hoping people will continue to follow us, especially on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
Well, and that's why I make sure people follow Deborah, follow her Facebook site, follow her website. She is championing this, and let Deborah and the team know, where do you want us to go next?
Right.
Again, the travel log was so much fun today. The travel log postcard experience. Where do you want us to go explore, and invite, and talk to? And also, maybe what were your best takeaways? Make sure you put those in the chat. Watch the replays, and who were some of your favorite people? Why do you like them? Continue the conversation here, because this was a live stream event, interactive all day, does not mean the conversation has to end here. This is the joy of playback, the joy of the internet. We get to keep this conversation going. So make sure you raise your voice. As you heard these ladies say, let's raise your voice and get involved with us.
Yeah. And I think that when it comes down to it, I think the question that we've been asking, I've asked all these ladies and even you, is this: what does International Hospitality Women's Day mean to you? And I believe that every company and organization should add that to their strategic plan and have a game planned around it, and let us know, so that we can highlight this throughout the year as we start building this big day again, which we will. And I just think that's a very, very important question to start out with. And then how are you going to celebrate it? How are you going to implement it? How are you going to showcase it? How are you going to communicate it to those that you'd like to celebrate? I mean, there's so many questions above and beyond this one, but this is a good place to start right here. Finding out what it does to mean to you.
Then maybe next year we have a Woman of Each Continent award.
Yeah.
Answer that question right there. Maybe we could celebrate it that way, and then we can start get people to vote and cast it in from international. So there's a lot of ways to keep this elevator going and answer that question in fun, creative ways.
There really, really is. But I just have to say thank you, Trigger, for joining us, because I loved the postcard. I felt like I was just traveling the globe right now. And I know our audiences were too. That was really, really fun. So we'll expand on that a little bit more too.
No, this has been a blast, Deborah. Thank you. And for the team inviting me in, I want to say kudos to your team. Cheers to your team. Really great job. Again, there's always going to be technical things. I've been doing this, you've been doing this, but always the first time out. But cheers to a great day, great guest. And again, thank you for allowing me to come on in and be the guy on the scene here today. And hopefully in the future to be the guy to ask the questions that I think we need to share. And Sheriff was the other voice. I think it was really important to highlight him again.
Yes.
Sheriff came in and he wants to elevate the women leaders in hospitality and keep this conversation going. So great to have him drop in and add that extra voice to what's a great conversation, only getting bigger.
Absolutely. 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 So, at the same time, we couldn't have done this without you as well. So you really added a special touch to us at pretty much the last minute. But that's what it's about. It's about taking risks, trying something new, being creative. And again, there's no rules or rhyme or reason. It's just a matter of what works for you. Just do it. Just get in there and just dive in, jump in, whatever makes your heart float. We're supporting you and coming back again and again and again. Just know that we are not going anywhere. So people out there, please help us know what you want by expressing what that is, by just emailing us at hello@hospitalitytodaylive.com. So thank you, Trigger. This was just a complete blast. And we hope, everyone really enjoyed it as much as I did as well. So on behalf of our amazing staff, as Trigger mentioned, we appreciate you watching and hoping that you will have a great, productive rest of your week. And let's all stay in touch. In the meantime, happy International Hospitality Women's Day. And gosh, we'll see you all again. Hate to say goodbye. Yep, let's definitely toast ourselves again, because this was a lot of fun, a lot of work, but yet just a complete blast. So everybody have a great rest of your week, and we hope to hear from you very soon. Thanks again.